What's going on, guys? Apathetic here with all your tips, recommendations, and everything in between to make sure you are set up for success in the Crucible. And today we're reviewing the new Exotic Sidearm, Devil's Ruin. I'll be covering what's special about this exotic, what it pairs best with, and lastly, cover if this weapon is good in the Crucible. Let's get into it. Devil's Ruin is an exotic sidearm, and it's definitely very unique in the sense that it's almost like two weapons in one, being part sidearm and part trace rifle slash fusion rifle. Getting into the stats on this weapon, this sidearm is a 300 RPM sidearm with a charge time of 1000 milliseconds or 1 second, which we will discuss later, and has a magazine size of 15. It's rocking an impact of 49, range of 46, stability of 69, and a handling value of 54. It's also rocking 56 aim assist with a recoil value of 100, meaning my friends on console won't have any issues controlling this weapon. Getting into the perks on this weapon, you have close the gap, variable trigger, press and release to fire individual shots, hold to charge up a high powered staggering laser. This is where I feel Devil's Ruin is like two weapons in one. You have the option to fire like a just traditional sidearm, or hold the trigger and it fires this powerful beam that absolutely melts opposing guardians. Moving on to the rest of the perks, you have extended barrel for improved range, projection fuse for even more range, pyrogenesis, fully charging the laser refills the magazine from reserves, which is an amazing perk on this weapon. Essentially, when firing your sidearm, you get down to 1 or 2 shots. Then when you charge the laser, it will pull the additional shots it needs to fire a full laser from your reserves, which is sick because it allows you to gun down enemy using the standard sidearm. Then when you have 1 or 2 shots left, you can melt some unsuspecting shotgun rusher using the laser. This all translates into the weapon that has somewhat of a skill gap built into it, since you are having to balance when to use the sidearm aspect of this weapon versus the laser, which, believe me, can be a little tough because it can be so satisfying melting someone with the laser on this weapon. Getting into what weapon pairs best with Devil's Ruin, you're looking at two options. Devil's Ruin is going to cover the close to medium range, so we can either go all in on the close range combat or pair it with something that will have a little more range. Personally, I would pair this with either a mountaintop, something that can do damage from range, or maybe even a long range hand cannon. When pairing it with mountaintop, this allows you to do that burst damage from a good distance, then move in with your Devil's Ruin to finish the kill. If you're going all in on that close range like I did, I would pair it with a shoddy such as Dust Rock Blues or Toilet and Trouble. What I enjoyed most about pairing it with a shotgun is that if for whatever reason my laser wasn't able to finish my opponents, then I could easily switch to my shotgun and map them since they were already a little weak. This combination also gave me another counter to shotgun rushers that have always been so prominent in the Crucible. So is this weapon any good in the Crucible? Surprisingly, the answer is yes. I honestly thought this gun was going to be kind of gimmicky, as a lot of the exotics we have been given lately have been that way. But this weapon is actually pretty viable in the Crucible. I think my favorite thing about it is when you're charging up your laser and watching your opponent panic as they try to kill you before you get that laser shot off. So like a fusion rifle, the laser aspect of this weapon puts pressure on your enemy to land all their shots before you melt them. Now, the other surprising thing about this sidearm is how consistent it is when you're simply firing shots, which is what has made this sidearm easily one of my favorite to use. Now, in order to really maximize the usage of this weapon, it does require a balance of using the sidearm and laser on this weapon, and really knowing the difference of when to use them. My recommendation is to use the sidearm aspect of the weapon whenever you don't think you're going to have the time to charge the weapon without taking damage. Now, the laser part of the weapon you should approach similar to a fusion rifle and try to stay in cover as you charge it up, only to show yourself at the last moment to discharge the laser into your opponent. Overall, I was pleasantly surprised by this weapon. I really enjoyed the type of playstyle encouraged, and figuring out when to use the sidearm or when to use the laser really added a nice layer to this weapon. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of this weapon and if it's replacing any of your current favorite sidearms. With that, thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, as it's a free way to support me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.